Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Homer,
And I am Mr. Brink.
and welcome to the first assembly of the year. Today, we're talking about famous children's authors.
So, firstly, what is an author? An author is a person who writes the books or the articles that we read. A children's author creates picture books and short novels for children to read.
The first author we're going to talk about today is a man called Roald Dahl. Can you say Roald Dahl?
Roald Dahl.
Thank you. Roald Dahl was born in September 1916 and he lived until 1990. He was a British children's author, a poet, so he wrote poems, and also a fighter pilot in the Second World War. He was born in Wales, which is in the United Kingdom, and he wrote many famous books. You can see the pictures of the books there. Some of his famous books are James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, The Witches, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, and the BFG. My favorite is the BFG. How about yours?
Mine is definitely Matilda.
Roald Dahl's children's stories are known for their unexpected endings and unusual humor. Oh, those are difficult words. Should we try to say those? Unexpected.
Unexpected.
Brilliant. Humor.
Humor.
Do you know what unexpected means?
Is it a kind of surprise?
It certainly is. It's when you don't know something's going to happen and it surprises you. How about humor?
Maybe a funny story?
Very good. It's something that makes you laugh. Oh, here's some fun facts about Roald Dahl. Did you know he loved chocolate, but not chocolate cake? Maybe this is why he chose to write a book about Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It's the same as me. I like chocolate, but I'm not a fan of chocolate cake. How about you?
I eat anything that is chocolate.
Oh, Roald Dahl, he always wrote his stories in pencil on yellow paper. He would write these stories in a small hut in his garden, like a little shed. Can you see the picture? And an amazing fact about Roald Dahl was he was a hurricane fighter pilot during the Second World War many, many years ago. He used to fly these aeroplanes. Here's some famous things that Roald Dahl said. The first one, he said, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. What do you think that means?
Wow. I think if you believe in yourself, you will make wonderful things happen.
Always got to believe in yourself. And the second one is grown-ups are complicated creatures full of quirks and secrets. Wow, complicated. Can you say that?
Complicated.
That's a complicated word to say. Complicated means difficult. And quirks?
Maybe funny things.
Yeah, something funny or something silly.
The next author we will be looking at is Dr. Seuss. He was an American author and cartoonist. He also did some fantastic drawings. His real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel. He lived from 1904 to 1991. His most famous books was The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, Oh, the Places You'll Go, Horton Hears a Who, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Fox in Socks, and The Lorax. Now, I love Christmas, so in this case, my favorite would be How the Grinch Stole Christmas. How about you, Mr. Homer?
My favorite book is Fox in Socks. I love how they rhyme.
So, Dr. Seuss was not a real doctor, so he could not help you if you had a cold or if you fell down and bumped your knee. However, Throughout his career, he published over 60 books. The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham were two of his most famous works. Have you seen them? So some fun things about Dr. Seuss was that the pictures in his book was all drawn by him about things that reminded him of the town that he grew up in. People called him Ted, but he used the name Dr. Seuss for his books. I think that makes it a whole lot more interesting. And his first job was drawing cartoons for newspapers and advertisements. Some of the famous things Dr. Seuss said was, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant." Now, this is a paradox. A paradox is something which sounds one way but actually means another. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, which means that you should care about things which are important in your life. If you don't care about it, no one else will. And the last one is, the more that you read, the more things you'll know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. So reading is important.
The next author is a man called C.S. Lewis. Lewis was an Irish author most famous for creating the fantasy world of Narnia. He was born a long time ago in 1898 and died in 1963. Now, Lewis is famous for the Chronicles of Narnia and the books listed there. His most famous book is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Do you know that one?
I do not, Mr. Homer, but if I find a lion in my wardrobe, it will not be a good day.
Narnia. If you don't know what Narnia is, well, Narnia is a fantasy world that was created by the great lion Aslan. It is full of mythical characters and animals that talk to each other. Can you say mythical?
Mythical.
Well done. Here's some facts about C.S. Lewis. An interesting fact is he was a soldier in World War One, and for most of his life he worked as a professor. That means working in a university, teaching students about interesting stuff. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe is his most famous book. Lewis always used a pen and paper. He never learned to type. Maybe today he would have to learn to type.
We have left the last one and the most exciting one for finishing our presentation with. Her name is J.K. Rowling. Now, I am sure that most of you have heard about the books that she has written. Do you maybe know some of them? Harry Potter, of course. Now, this is one of Mr. Hank's favorite children's authors and one of the most exciting story series of our age. So, just a quick facts is that J.K. Rowling is a British author and she was born in 1965. She first had the idea for Harry Potter while traveling on a train. It took almost 7 years to finish. She wrote most of the books on scrap paper. What ideas do you get when you travel on the train? Maybe you will write the next book that makes you famous. Harry Potter is the best-selling book series in history, with 500 million books being sold worldwide. All the Harry Potter books have been made into movies, and I'm sure that you all saw most of them already. Rowling is the first person to become a billionaire as an author.
Wow, she must be very, very rich.
She can buy lots of ice creams on Fridays.
And that's the end. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.